Hello everyone, I've got a new team for you today, and this is a bit of a theme team. The theme of the team is one weakness. So you've got Escavalier in the lead with a vulnerability to fire, you've got A-Muk with a vulnerability to ground, and you've got Swampert with a vulnerability to grass. This team I think is fairly solid, and the fact that it's only got one weakness does mean that you're not too at risk from being countered from sort of head-to-head leads or similar. Obviously with a lead of something that's double vulnerable to fire, you are going to have some fun if you run into a Charizard, but that's just the way it goes. Everything gets countered by something. Just going to kick this off with a couple of matches I played this morning. This is one set's worth, and off we go. As you can see, I've just about made it into rank 9. Not stunning rating, but it'll do. Right, so as I was saying, Charizard's a problem, so we run straight into a Charizard. Quickly switch to the Muk, look to get the shield advantage back or get the switch advantage. Charizard hits us quite hard, and obviously Blast Burn, I hoped that was a bait, but it wasn't. Sometimes that's the way it goes. However, I am going to get to the Dark Pulse and throw that, get the shield off them, and maybe make it to another one. There we go, just about made it to another one. So if we're lucky, we'll go to 2 shields down, but I think they'll probably just let this land. There we go. So we've taken the Charizard down quite a lot. It's in low health. That's okay. It means our very vulnerable squishy thing is not too much danger. However, with the Charizard on the lead, you do really need a water counter, and that's what they have. So bringing the Swampert out means out comes the Tangrowth. Tangrowth does quite a lot to this. I mean, it's not quite as crazy as a Razor Leafer, but it's still hurting. We throw the Sludge Wave because if it lands, we'll take it out in one go. Excellent. So not too bad, but then they've got another one. So unfortunately we're then forced to switch. Perhaps I should have stayed in, but if I had, then I'd have been faced with Charizard at the back and I'd still be in a bad position. So we're just going to nibble away and just try and build up an energy lead, and hope that energy lead is enough to carry us through when the Charizard inevitably shows up again. So we let the Frenzy Plant land. We do resist it thanks to the Bug Steel. In fact we double resist, so the Frenzy Plant doesn't hit too hard. We throw a Acid Spray because that's super effective, but it also debuffs. So I was hoping to get the shield there, but we don't. It does mean that if we throw a Drill Run now, it's going to hurt them quite a bit though. So there we go, we're going to build up again, and in comes Charizard. We're going to throw that Drill Run. I suspect we'll get a shield here, because even if... yeah, there we go, there's the shield. And in comes the Swampert. And I think at this point I probably should have shielded, but I don't. So it goes down, and then the Escavalier will come in, back in, and get toasted. There we go. Good game to my opponent. I think with the shield there I might have got to the Hydro Cannon and put the Charizard down, but it was not to be. Next up, we lead the Escavalier into a Dragonite. Slightly better. Obviously it still resists our fast moves, and it still resists our charge moves. But maybe with an Acid Spray we can get its attention a little bit. And actually Dragonites aren't all that tough. I mean, they've got a lot of resistances, and they do hit like a truck, but we are actually resisting all their damage. So this is actually not as bad a fight as it seems. There we go. That boosted counter is still chipping away at them, and the incoming Dragon Claw, we're going to shield it because it does hurt, but it's not quite all that terrifying. So a little bit of lag there, and there we go. We've taken out the Dragonite, costs us a shield, but we do have an energy advantage. Out comes Gyarados, and again we throw the Acid Spray, and we're going to switch now. One of the fun tricks with something like an Acid Spray is bringing in the thing they counter. So Gyarados plays well against Swampert, and we're going to bring the Swampert in next, because that way they can either switch out and lose their favourable matchup, or they can stay in and be facing a favourable matchup with a 50% penalty to their defence. Sorry, yeah, the defence is at half thanks to the double Acid Spray. So we're going to go for double Hydro Cannon, and either they'll shield one, or we'll see how much damage it does. Person going through, up comes the shield. So there's the shield, we throw the second Hydro Cannon. Normally this wouldn't do too much, but again that double debuff from the Acid Spray means we can take it out in one shot. And out comes a Magneton. That's disastrous for a Swampert, so my opponent concedes. Next up we're going Black Nanos, and we're leading into... it's another Charizard, of course it is. So again, quickly switch, swipe Rain Alarm away. This time they've got a Lapras in the back, which is a reasonable Swampert counter because it resists Swampert's moves, but it does mean you aren't running double grass, so you aren't vulnerable to things like fire types as much yourself. We're just going to try and stay in on this one and not blow too many shields, but we do really want to get that switch advantage back, because if we don't, then the Swampert isn't going to be able to align with the Charizard. So another Dark Pulse, we throw that at them. Take another nibble off them. They've not shielded, we haven't shielded. So this is a bit of a game of chicken right now. I don't think this will finish us, so I'm just going to let this one land as well. There we go, one more surf, and I'm going to get the Dark Pulse. Now at that point I'm getting dangerously close to, if they do shield here, then they are going to win the switch, but they don't, so we're good. Out comes Charizard again, takes us down, but now we've got the Swampert aligned to them. They can either bail out now and we'll just counter switch them, or stay in, and just rely on the fact that Blast Burn does actually hit quite hard to even the score up a bit. So, Hydro Cannon, we're going to throw that. This will get a shield from them if we don't. Yeah, there we go. It's not quite one-shot territory, but it's pretty close, I think. And again, we can afford to let this one through. It's probably another Dragon Claw. But at this point, we're dangerously close to a Blast Burn being able to take us out, or even another last Dragon Claw. So we need to shield here, because that Dragon Claw will finish us, and we've got energy loaded. And it's such a shame to waste the energy. So, out comes the energy, and there we go. We're going to get that shield. Yes, last shield. And we should outpace them to the last Hydro Cannon. Good switch by my opponent there to Escavalier. So, this is a bit of an odd one in that we resist each other's charge and fast moves. Their Leaf Blade, we resist. The close combat, we don't resist, and it hits very hard. We're going to throw a Drill Run because pretty much any move does a lot of damage to Gallade. So there we go. And we're going to chip away and hopefully going to get there. Yes. So they didn't get to close combat, so we're okay. And we're going to throw the Drill Run at this Charizard. It does resist it because flying double resists, and fire only is single vulnerable. But we've got a loaded Hydro Cannon, so good game to my opponent. And goodbye Charizard. Thank you very much. And next up, what have got on the lead? Escavalier leads into an Escavalier. We're playing the mirror match by the seams. So chances are they've got Drill Run because it's a great move, but it's a bit more open whether they've got Mega Horn or Acid Spray. So given the timing of that wasn't an Acid Spray, it's a Drill Run. Okay, so Drill Run hits neutral. We're just going to throw it back in return. We're going to hope they're going to call this as if it's a charge move coming through and shield it, but we don't get the shield off them. Now we have debuffed them though, so we are going to be able to race them to a Drill Run, and there we go. I think they should have got to theirs first, but perhaps they were also going for an Acid Spray. I don't know. Either way, Drill Run coming through, gets the shield, and we go down. So they've won the switch, but they cost a shield to do it. So we're going to bring out the Muck now as our safe swap. Counter does neutral, Drill Run hurts, so we do have to shield the Drill Runs, but we are going to be able to farm it down and get that energy lead. There we go. So our Muck now has loaded energy. In comes a Swampert. Again, ground type, it's not so great for us, but the Hydro Cannons, they're neutral, they just hit hard. Go throw a Dark Pulse and go for another one. Incoming Hydro Cannon. If they can land an Earthquake, it will do us a lot of damage, but there's no point. So now they've thrown that, we're just going to bring the Swampert in and just kind of quickly build up. Now this is where, okay, so I've not got any shields left, and I'm about to go down to a Shadow Ball with a full bar of energy. Now that's a stupid misplay by my part. Muck does very well against Gengar. I mean, it resists the Ghost type, and so it'll just be nibbling away at us with Shadow Balls or Shadow Punches. There we go. And we're just going to keep on farming. We're going to not pop the bubbles here in hope of doing a small damage Dark Pulse and getting a bit more of a farm through, even if they don't shield. That was the idea. Now they've got to another Shadow Punch, so it's going to sting a bit, but that's okay. We've still got a bit of health left. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we're going to make it to that last Dark Pulse. Oh, that's close. Not quite. Not quite. Again, we had two. We needed two because they had the shield left. It was close. I think without me misplaying on the Gengar matchup, that would have gone a different way. Next up, Escavalier into Clefable. This is a reasonable one. We resist each other, so it's kind of a they poke me with charms and I poke them with counters. And I'm going to throw the Acid Spray because again it's super effective against fairies and it debuffs them even if they shield. So there we go. That's giving me a bit more of a lead. Counter's going to start nibbling them down a bit faster, and we're just going to throw a Drill Run now. And if they don't shield, then nope, the shield comes up. Okay, so we've got the shield. That's fine. We're going to shield in return. I suspect that they realise at this point that they're on the losing end of this matchup because we're going to outpace them to charge moves, and sure enough they switch to a Dragonite. We build up to the Acid Spray and throw that, and because they switch, the Dragonite's now switch locked, so we can now bring in our Swampert of all things, which again, this is a bad matchup because Dragonite resists our move, but the Dragonite is debuffed by the Acid Spray. so that it again can switch out of this unfavourable matchup, or, well, not, as the case may be. So with Hydra Cannon, they resist it, but there we go, almost takes it out entirely just because of that debuff. Dragonite's now farmably low, the Muk comes back in, and we'll see if we get the Fairy back out. There we go, out comes Clefable. We can land a Sludge Wave, this will take it out in one go. We don't want to use the Dark Pulse because it resists it, so off to the Sludge Wave we go. And there we go, Sludge Wave, splat. Venusaur at the back. We resist that because of the poison typing, so that's good for us, and we can throw our dark moves at it and hit for neutral. So this is quite a strong position. I'm going to quickly shift into the Escavalier to try and be clever and throw a Drill Run, but not make it. However, we did force them to throw their Frenzy Plant, so we've managed to use up our Escavalier as an auxiliary shield. So that's somewhat beneficial. They're probably going to get to another one, but that's okay. We've got a shield left. We're going to shield this, and hopefully the next one coming through, obviously because we resist it, we'll still be in a position to stay alive. Well, find out, I guess. Incoming Frenzy Plant. Again, our Poison type resists, so we get to our Dark Pulse. We need 2 now, because obviously they've got the shield there. They're going to shield the first one for sure, because they're not daft. And there you go, Dark Pulse, and Dark Pulse. Back to back on them, trying very hard not to overtap. And good game. Close, but we got there. There we go. So, 5 matches, 3 wins. I think at least one of them was a bit more recoverable if I had been playing like a Muppet, but it's early morning when I was doing this, and sometimes I'm not playing at my best. I hope you enjoyed that. I quite like it as a concept team. I might play around with it a little bit, because I think there's room for a Sizor in there instead of the Escavalier, but I'm just kind of new to that one, and I wanted to try it out and see how it went. I hope you all have a good day. And let me know what you think of the background music. I've been running it just as a bit of experiment, and see if it's preferable or not. Cheers. Bye.